And welcome back to KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine. This is Lead Grobble Pepper Radio. I'm your host, DJ LP, and we also have DJ Grobble in the building. And yeah, we have Carpool in the studio, this exclusive KUCI interview.
Sure.
All right, shall we get started? All right, Carpool, who are you individually and collectively? Kind of spoiled the collectively there, but yeah, we'll let you guys say it.
Yeah.
Say who you are.
Individually, my name is Kent Danger. I'm a guitarist, a producer, and an artist as well.
I'm Renzo Starr. I'm a visual artist, a bassist, and a songwriter.
And together, we joined forces with Michael the Villain, and we just put together as much dope stuff as we can, inspired by a lot of things that we grew up on. So it could be anything from like alt rock to, you know, hip hop from the 90s, 2000s, 2010s, whatever have you. Some R&B and stuff there too. I know you like electronic kind of stuff.
Yeah, I feel like it's just a amalgamation of all of our combined interests and kind of a collage of the best aspects of our music taste.
Yeah, and I think the visual aspect is a big part of it too. He does a lot of graphics, and we also work on the videos together as well. I think that kind of like is a big part of our offering.
Yeah, that's sick. I love when musicians also expand sort of their, I guess, artistic minds into other forms of I guess just forms of art. Yeah. So that is amazing. All right,
I was
where
gonna
should we
ask,
start up?
Well, I was gonna ask, did you guys make the albums yourself for the
cover art?
mode?
Yeah, I actually made all the cover art for the albums.
Amazing.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So where are you guys from? You guys said North Carolina.
Yeah.
What's that like coming out to LA?
I'm from a small town called Matthews, North Carolina, but if you catch me outside, I'm going to say Charlotte.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I tell people who don't know North Carolina, it's Charlotte, but I'm actually from Gastonia. It's kind of like 15, 20 minutes away.
Sweet. Yeah, and what was the move like?
Well, I actually moved first. It was like a 3-month difference in between when we moved out here, and we were kind of in the midst of doing like a lot of shows and just like had a lot of things rolling. And we came to the realization of like we need to do this like in a different area where there's a lot more people that can connect to it. So, you know, all love to North Carolina, and we did like so many things there, but we kind of realized it was like we had to change the size of the pond we were swimming in.
We got some really good advice from a mentor who said, you're trying to play basketball on a tennis court right now. You need to go to where they play basketball. So
yeah,
we took the advice and we just figured out how to make the move happen.
Yeah, we were just trying to keep playing shows. There's only like so many places. After a while, you just keep going to all of them. So we said, you know what, let's take the dive.
Yeah, that's awesome. So what got you guys into making music?
A lot of things. My earliest memory, I would say, are like Sting and like Santana. I used to go to like this school where I would like play percussion. I guess you could, I don't know if it was technically a music school, but you just did music in it. And I used to love like just playing drums, and then I moved on to like guitar and stuff like that too. So I think that was kind of like my early start.
I can't say exactly what inspired me, but I can remember my first memory around music is my grandma getting a Bowling for Soup CD from the corner store and then bringing it to my CD player and listening to that till it was about to burn out. I think I just was like always into alternative and rock music and maybe didn't know so many other people who were also interested in it. So then it inspired me to try and pick up the guitar.
Super cool. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I guess speaking of artists who inspired you, I wanted to shout out your Stratocaster. It looked sort of Hendrixy.
Yeah.
It had the white and the neck that's like flipped. Is he a favorite of yours?
No,
I guess I should
you
say.
got a good eye. Yeah, it's kind of an homage to Jimmy. He's definitely one of my favorite just musicians, period, let alone guitarists. Just his whole style, his songwriting and things like that is like very integral, I think, to like who I am as an artist. So that was a really good catch.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I guess I don't play his stuff as much now, but in high school it was him and Zeppelin were pretty much like the two huge ones for me. But anyway, yeah, I can't really say anything about Hendrix that hasn't already been said. He's amazing. But yeah, super cool Strat.
Thank you.
All right, yeah, so I guess, what is your process for songwriting?
You want to take that one?
I think every time it's a new challenge. It just depends on the location and who the people in the room are when we're working on a song. Sometimes you're just telling a story about a personal experience you might have gone through and that inspires some lyrics. Or other times we'll just start jamming and then we say, you need to record that right now. I know for example, the song Sorted, which is the last song we went out with, that one was just a jam situation where we were just chilling on the couch playing guitar, and then I think Kent said, you need to go record that right now. So we laid it down, and then about an hour and a half later, we had a new song.
I mean, it happens like that a lot, where it's like we're just together and just like come up with random ideas just off the cuff. But also, like, we all make beats. Like Renzo, Mike, and I, we all like produce records. And so somebody might come to the table like, yo, what do you guys think about this solo track I have? And everybody's like, no, wait, I got to put a verse on that. Like, I love this. And then we just kind of end up making sometimes whole albums like that.
Yeah, and
Amazing.
How do you guys decide what's going to be a solo project, what's going to be on the collective album?
I think time is the biggest truth teller when it comes to that. Sometimes we'll think a song is really going to go on a project, and then over the course of working on the project and finishing it, it doesn't really fit the sonics of it anymore. So we say, you should keep that for your project. I think it's going to fit better there.
Yeah, that's actually what happened with Coinga. I remember we were like working on Creature Mode Vulnerable, which was the final one we released, and I submitted Coinga for that just to see if like anybody had any verses, and it kind of ended up just like staying one of my songs, and that kind of happens like a lot with our stuff.
I think for the Creature Mode series, we took a different approach to how we finish our albums and put them together. For our previous albums, we really just would work on a ton of collaborative songs, but I think this time we all came with something different to the table, and then we picked the best pieces to create the collage of Creature Mode.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. One thing I wanted to ask, and I'll just be straight up. What style or genre of music would you say you make? Because for me, when I think of genre, I think it's kind of like weird, you know? Like, what really is a genre? Because there's so much sort of, I guess, mashups there between, I don't know, like, what's like punk rock and just like, you know, or maybe just like metal, both fast, and there's obviously some connection there, so sometimes it's hard to pick just one. So yeah, what would you guys say your music falls into, if it falls into anything?
It's always the hardest question.
Yeah, it's such a hard question to answer. I mean, we always tell people alternative because I think it's like a nice blanket term that gives us a lot of options to work with.
For sure.
But I agree with you. I think we actually work based on mood. And it's kind of like, do we want to make a song that's more like chill today and just sort of vibey? Do we want something upbeat that we can really like go crazy to on stage? So, I mean, it's just kind of more about the energy for us.
And I feel like across our musical journey, we really have just existed to contradict like people's expectation of us. I think of that Arctic Monkeys album where it's like, everything you think I am, that's what I'm not. I honestly feel like that's the motto to how we approach things. It's like as soon as somebody thinks they have us figured out, we come back with a completely different song that breaks the mold of who they thought we were.
That is actually true. And when we play shows, we kind of like lean into that. So if there's like a lot of other rappers, we're like the rock band. But if there's like other rock bands, we're kind of like more hip hop, you know? So we kind of just like pick based on who we're around.
Really chameleons.
Yeah.
And if it's what type of music, I'd say good music. That's it.
That's fair, yeah.
That's right. Yeah, you guys have brought up some artists and some albums you've been inspired by. Do you have any other artists that really inspire you? Maybe some Thundercat.
Definitely
of
Thundercat.
Course. Yeah, we love Thundercat.
I love Thundercat.
I think a major one we both thought immediately was Childish Gambino, because that's kind of like how we became friends.
And with our other bandmate Michael as well.
Yeah, like we all just kind of have that sort of like taste of alternative hip hop, which I think kind of feeds into what we do.
And I think like for Childish too, he really represents artists who are inspired by not just one medium of art form, but like a variety. I feel like that's kind of where we lie, because sometimes we watch film and we're inspired to make a song from that. I think our tastes kind of differ a little bit individually from what artists and albums inspire us, but for me, somebody who really inspires me is like JPEG Mafia or like Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Yeah, I would say for me, like Tyler the Creator as well. He's like somebody who's like a big influence, I think, as far as like the persona kind of goes to the art. And I mean, Mike also likes J. Cole a lot too, and I also grew up listening to J. Cole a lot, you know. North Carolina, it's kind of like a rite of passage.
MF Doom too, a huge one for Mike.
Ooh, super cool.
Sweet.
Yeah, let's see. Yeah, I guess, are there any other influences who you want to shout out? Maybe because I feel like all of the artists you just named, or at least somewhat, are in the hip-hop arena. Are there any other sort of, because you mentioned Santana and Hendrix, of course, any other musicians like that who you think inspired your sound?
I have to put Santana and Hendrix at the top, because my first memory of even getting a guitar, I would always try and like attempt to do a play along with whatever stuff was. Obviously it was like a kid, so it was like nowhere near, but King Cruel is another person for me. I think, like, as far as his like guitar tone goes, the chord selection that he has, like his progressions are like amazing, and that's something that's always inspired me since I was like in middle school probably.
Oh, word. Sorry, can you say his name again?
King Cruel.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Well, have to check him out.
Yeah.
Haven't heard him. Do you have any specific albums or songs by him I
The
should check
Ooze
out?
is a great album.
Ooze?
I think, there's a song called Dumb Surfer, which I used to play like relentlessly when I was in college. I mean, he's got a lot, you know. There's also Man Alive, which is a great album too. So I mean, any of those are great. I mean, he's like 4, I think, at this point.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say Man Alive. He also has a new album that just came out called Space Heavy, and there's a song called C4 on it, which is amazing.
He also has a bunch of songs under Archie Marshall too, and that is maybe my favorite album from him.
Yeah.
A New Place to Drown, I think is what it's called.
No, it's really great. Everything he does is just fantastic to me.
So creator mode, is it done? Is it just three albums and that's that project?
I
Well,
think we're probably gonna give people a little bit more. We'll
Maybe
let y'all
it's-
know. We got some stuff that we've had in the vault for a little bit, so
Sick.
yeah.
definitely won't be the end of Creature Mode.
There's an ultimate version coming.
Hmm.
Creature Mode. Such a cool name. Mm-hmm.
Shout out Michael the Villain. He coined the term
Yeah.
on our song Creature Mode.
Great.
So what else is up next for the band? New albums you guys are planning? Washington.
Yeah, I think the next focus is
DC.
probably the show we have in DC. It's going to be around Juneteenth, and we'll do like some of the songs from the set, but Mike will be actually joining us. So we'll probably add in some other ones that he's like a bit more present on. Also just like videos and things in the works as well.
Cool. And could you please remind us, Mike, is he your guys is a keyboardist?
No, he's actually a vocalist.
Oh, sick. Okay,
yeah, he's
cool.
like one of the main songwriters and vocalists. You'll often like if you check out like some of our videos, he's often kind of like in the front of both of us.
And if you're able to catch us in a show where it's the three of us, he's usually like the front man of the show.
Right.
Oh,
right.
cool.
Sweet.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do you
Oh.
guys ever play with the drummer? Or
We
do you guys
used to
just
in the
make
past. When we lived in Raleigh, we would have a drummer like all the time, and that was kind of when our music had a bit more of like an edge to it. I think
Yeah.
I think what y'all saw today was like a bit more chill, but it used to be kind of like edgier, and we would just kind of like rock out and smash guitars and stuff.
Yeah.
Sick. Mm-hmm.
That version is coming back eventually, but we've just been on this vibe.
That's sweet.
Yeah, that's great. And speaking of Mike sometimes being your front man, I guess, what does it mean, or I guess, sorry, kind of weird, but I guess for you guys, just what does it mean to be a band where your sort of front man position kind of changes? Like, is that just, would you say that just makes you guys more of like a fluid band? You all kind of like share that role?
I think that
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, you go.
I was going to say, I think it fits with the name perfectly. It's carpool. So, sometimes you
Good
get two
point.
friends get in and ride along. Sometimes you have the whole family get in and
Whoever's
you
in the
cram the
car.
car as tight as it'll pack. And sometimes you take a solo drive too.
I was gonna
That's
say the
sick.
same thing. Sometimes we have a different driver each time. We actually have some other artists that we work with named Arlena and Juliana, and actually our last show in Fullerton, Juliana was kind of like the front person of the group, just doing like vocals and things like that. So might be him, might be me, might be Mike, might be somebody else. You never know.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I think carpool is like the platform, and it's just kind of whatever artist gets that spotlight at the time will be
Yeah.
the one who's in front.
Awesome. All right, did you have any more questions? Let's just check the list. Oh, I wanted to shout out, I have your same strap, the
Oh, nice.
the one that has the skulls. Super sick.
Appreciate that. Wait, what do you play? What's your guitar type?
Yeah, I have a pretty similar strat. Well, I have a Squire and a Fender one
Yeah.
that I keep back home because I want to keep it somewhat nice.
Right.
But yeah, mine was also inspired from Hendrix, though I don't have the cool flip neck That's pretty awesome.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, actually, you know what? Let's make it more of like a general one.
Yeah.
Top 5 bass players. Yeah, because that's something I've been thinking of. So yeah, I am curious.
James Jamerson, Jocko, Flea, Thundercat easily has to go in there. Who's 5?
I think Pino Palladino's got to go in there. Shout out to all the stuff he did with D'Angelo.
Amazing. I would just have to shout out to Claypool. For me, he's the GOAT. But yeah, all right. Anything else?
No, thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you so much, you guys.
Feel
it was
free
so
to shout
sick.
out anything else.
Oh yeah, because you guys said you have a new album, or sorry, was it a new like remaster? I forget.
It's kind of like a deluxe. We'll call it that. It's gonna have some extra tracks on it and things like that. A couple of artists that I think the people, especially local to LA, will like. A lot of different people that they recognize. But yeah, it's called Creature Mode.
I'd just say it's a care package. It's got some surprises in there for all the people who've been following the Creature Mode journey, and it'll take us to the next step along that journey.
Yeah, I mean, other than that, all I can really shout out is our show in DC, June 20th, and we've also got a new video for Sorted, which is out right now.
I would just say check us on YouTube and our social media too. That way you can keep up with our upcoming releases.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
that
yeah.
is Carpool
Right.
C4RP00L.
Correct.
You got it.
Yep.
Yep.
All right, and is that spelled the same everywhere?
Yep.
All right, great. Yeah, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank
yeah.
you all.
Yeah,
Of
appreciate you guys
course.
for having us.
Yeah.